So, Karl, who is your favourite Doctor?
I don't have one because I don't really watch Doctor Who.
You are British, Karl. How can you not watch Doctor Who?
I'm just not a big fan of the series.
Why?
I'll tell you after this, but first let's talk about something I do like about Doctor Who, the Daleks. Everyone loves the Daleks. Hailing from the Doctor Who universe, the Daleks are considered one of the most popular, iconic and fearsome creatures ever introduced in the franchise. Which is strange considering that for many years, some fans assumed that the Daleks couldn't even conquer a flight of stairs.
So, Karl, for the 3 people out there who have no idea what the Daleks are, do you want to quickly sum them up?
Oh yeah, for the 3 people who are watching this who don't know what the Daleks are, but clicked the video about the Daleks. Sure, basically the Daleks are a race of alien dickheads who live inside an indestructible shell with weaponry attached to it that looks like an artisanal butt plug mated with a Roomba.
What a great description, Karl.
How else can I describe the Daleks? They look so fucking dumb. I know, like, they're supposed to be evil aliens and that the shell they're inside is supposed to be like, indestructible in Doctor Who canon, but you look at it, it's like, that is just cheap plastic. The Daleks are the most feared race in the galaxy. And you're like, really? Really? Yeah, they're indestructible and they know nothing but rage. Because, but really? Because, yes, they've exterminated like countless races before. The Daleks. Yes, the Daleks. Really? Yes. That thing, and just see it just trundling along at like 6 miles per hour.
I remember the first time I watched it and I saw a Dalek and I was thinking, this isn't scary. And my mum was like, oh, it was scary back when it was made. I was like, but it's not scary now.
That's the problem with the Daleks. They're a product of their time. Obviously, they were designed in the 1960s. And to kids in the 1960s, they were terrifying. And I think there are votes outside the most iconic, scary Doctor Who villain. The Daleks almost always consistently top or get near the top of that list. The problem was, as the series went on, the effects didn't really get any better. So, like, as time went on, people realised that these things aren't scary. They kind of look stupid because they have got like a plunger for an arm.
My body has been augmented by superior Dalek technology.
It's an egg whisk and a plunger, and it's like...
The egg whisk is the gun, I think.
I'm
not sure what the plunger does.
No, the plunger sucks out brains.
Oh, shit.
Because they can put the plunger against your head and crush your brain.
What you gonna do? Sucker me to death?
And people watching at home knew. You can see it. It's like they're not even disguised it. It's a plunger and a fucking egg whisk, and they look at it and go, "That's its death ray." So I can buy a lot of stuff about TV. But if I was a kid and I saw the egg whisk and the doctor is going, "That's a death ray," and I see it like evaporating people, I'd be terrified next time my mum made pancakes. And she whipped out the whisk. No, Mum, put it away, put it away. That's what I love about the Daleks, because I think in the 1980s, they did want to update the look, because they said too many people are laughing at the Daleks. It's kind of bad that the series' most iconic villain looks so stupid. Let's update the look of the Daleks to make them scarier. And then they decided against it because their look was too iconic. All they need to do, just replace the egg whisk with a knife. Then the Dalek just comes towards you. That's all you've got to do. If anyone thinks we're making any of that up, we're really, really not. The Daleks are considered, in Doctor Who canon, one of the most feared races in the entire galaxy, and everyone is scared of them.
Exterminate!
The Daleks look so shit. Do you know what they remind me of? It's like that clip in Family Guy. It's like, we're going to make him into the $6 million man. Because we can repair him. We have the technology, but we don't want to spend a lot of money. And like, it shows you Peter, he's got like the dustbin for a leg and the broom for an arm. I don't know the story behind how they got made. I know it was like a prop maker at the BBC in the 1960s came up with the idea for the shell. I want to know what fucking genius just went, hang on, that looks scary, but here's what we need, and pulled out an egg whisk and went, put it on, and everyone went, That's it.
But
That's our
but
villain.
there's still something missing.
the plumber walks in and goes, "That toilet's had it, mate. Don't know what you want me to do with this." And they go stick it on and go, that's our villain. There's the villain that destroyed. There is the scourge of the galaxy. So just to clarify, in Doctor Who canon, the Daleks are almost wholly indestructible, which didn't stop fans suggesting they maybe had a weakness in the form of their mobility, which led to a running fan theory and joke that the Daleks couldn't climb stairs.
So could they climb stairs?
The producers and writers for Doctor Who in the 60s and 70s insisted that the Daleks could, and they were apparently really, really annoyed about it being a running joke that you could just walk up a flight of stairs to escape them, and they used to hate it when comedians of the day would make jokes about the Daleks going, just run up a flight of stairs. And you're like, the Daleks can climb stairs! But budgetary limitations meant they couldn't actually show it. You've seen a Dalek in real life, you know how big they are, and you know that inside was like a guy on basically a mobility scooter. So it was really difficult for the show to sell anyone watching on the supposed agility of the most feared race in the entire galaxy.
I always assumed there was a guy like crouched down just holding on to like handles.
In my head, it's a guy on a tricycle because it might as well be with how slowly and terribly they move. The Daleks look like every moment they exist is agony because everything they do is so laboured and deliberate. Like when they it's like if you could add sound effects to a Dalek, it'd just be a guy with a bad back trying to open his fridge. Just, That was the joke from fans. They might be indestructible and they might have a death ray that looks like a whisk, but how are they supposed to catch you if you can just walk up a flight of stairs?
Stairs? That's more like it. Hasn't got legs, it's stuck.
One writer in particular, called Ben Aronovich, got so annoyed about this running joke in the fandom that he decided to correct it once and for all in a series of episodes he wrote called The Remembrance of the Daleks in 1988.
So what did he do in this episode?
Well, Aronovich did a couple of things. The first thing he did is make a nod to the fan theory that Daleks couldn't climb stairs by showing the characters in the show run away from a Dalek and then walk up a flight of stairs.
Stay where you are! Do not move! The stairs!
And then he had to juxtapose that with the Dalek just flying up the flight of stairs like it isn't even shit.
You are the Doctor! You are the enemy of the Daleks! You will be exterminated!
For years, fans would say, well, the Daleks might be able to like obliterate a human skull. They might be able to like destroy planets. They might be like the most feared race in the galaxy. They might have an indestructible shell that is only weakness is itself. Like the only thing that can kill a Dalek is a Dalek, but they can't climb stairs. It's like, well, fuck me, I guess.
And now you watch modern episodes where they just glide across the sky like pigeons.
I don't watch many, I've not watched many modern episodes. The Daleks just fly everywhere.
Yeah, they just fly everywhere.
They've got the budget, haven't they? So Daleks are just like all up in that.
They just look weird as shit because they weren't designed to look like they can fly.
No, Brad, they could always fly. They could always climb stairs. Remember this?
Yeah, but they weren't. They clearly weren't designed to look like they could
fly. From an aesthetic standpoint, the Daleks were never designed to be a flying creature, but they were always established to have been able to climb stairs. Nobody knew how, and the budget meant that they couldn't show it. But they could always climb stairs, and that's the episode where they said, this is how they do it. And the best bit about it is that episode ended on a cliffhanger. That's how shocking, for people watching, that's how shocking the idea that the Dalek could climb a flight of stairs was. The cliffhanger to the entire episode, was it? Imagine that in any other context. If the cliffhanger for the most popular series on TV was the villain walking up a flight of stairs. Imagine if Star Wars ended with Luke Skywalker at the top of a flight of stairs going, aha, you can't get me up here, Darth Vader. And then he just slowly starts walking up a flight of stairs and that's where the film ends. That's where just smash cut to credits of Darth, and all the people know it's like,
That's impossible!
And it's consistently rated one of the most iconic moments of the entire series because it established that you can't escape a Dalek by just moving along the Z-axis. It's gonna get you. That plunger is gonna find your butthole and there's nothing you can do about it. But imagine, like, you're a kid 50, 60 years ago, right, and you see this black and white grainy image of this creature that your hero that you watch on TV every week is shit scared of. Like the Doctor, this like immortal godlike creature who can solve any problem, sees this thing just wheel into frame and just shits his pants. And then you hear it and it screams exterminate and it starts firing lasers in every single direction and everyone runs for their life. And then your parents say, don't worry, it can't climb stairs. And you sit down a couple of years later and you watch an episode of the Daleks are back and you see your hero run up a flight of stairs. You think, that's my idea, that's what I'd do. And the episode ends with the Dalek saying, nah.
Elevate!
Oh my God.
I bet there was at least one parent who, after that episode aired and their kid was in bed terrified, just sort of made like, got the Hoover and just ran it along the floor and then pushed a plunger into the kid's room.
That'd be such a terrifying thing to do. That's such an amazing mental image. Just a kid who's scared of the Dalek. Just put a whisk through the door. Just knock on his door and put a whisk in.
So why don't you watch Doctor Who? Like, everybody watches Doctor Who.
To be honest, it's mostly the fans. Like, not the fans who are watching this video. You guys are great. The fans who take it really seriously. I think, was it Whovians they call themselves? Yeah. Like, they oversell it so much that my expectations were so artificially inflated that when I watched an episode, I'm like, this is just a pretty decent sci-fi TV show with half-decent actors in it. This isn't the be-all and end-all of television. And that kind of ruined it for me. And that happens with a lot of TV for me. I think Supernatural's one. I've heard it's great. You are a fan. You were a fan. You've told me it's great. Other friends have told me it's a great show, but the fandom is so rabid and so like willing to shout down any criticism that it's just been put on this pedestal. It happens with a lot of TV shows, like Walking Dead. I watched that initially, didn't really get into it. Then obviously a couple of years later, this is the best show on TV. It's like, bearing in mind I stopped watching at season 2, so I found that very hard to believe. And obviously when I tried to get back into it, I'm like, I don't know who any of these characters are. I'm like, oh no, it gets better. It gets better. It's like, when? When does it get better? I don't get it. Please tell. And I think that happened with The Inbetweeners as well. Yeah. I never watched The Inbetweeners when it came out. So obviously I heard it quoted endlessly at school. I heard people saying, oh, it's so funny, Carl. It's one of the funniest things that's ever been on TV. Watched it a couple of years later and it's like, I just don't get it. I've heard consistently this is one of the funniest things ever put on TV. And I'm watching it and I'm like, it's quite funny, I guess. And that it's the juxtaposition between thinking it's going to be the best thing ever and then watching an okay TV show kind of ruins it for me.
I've had that with Breaking Bad. That was ramped up for me so much. And when I watched it, I was like, 2 seasons of this, nothing really happens. That's
the problem, because I think that's one of the shows that does live up to the hype. Yeah. I think even like episodes in the 5th season, they've got like a perfect 100%
the first season and the last season are both fantastic. But there's those ones in the middle where it kind of lingers. And
there's like a couple of episodes that you see and you think this could be improved. But at the same time, it's a fantastic show. But I can get, like, you see what I mean, don't you? Like, it gets built up so much that you watch one bad episode and you think, why is this so popular again? Like, I can get why it's popular. It's a very good show with good actors, but why is it this popular? Why am I being yelled at by saying I don't like it?
Especially with Doctor Who, if you watch like an episode with the Daleks now,
and
that was your first one,
and you think, like, what is this show? How has this got such a massive following if you don't understand like the cultural context? And when you tell me, I'm not really a fan of Doctor Who, I'm not really a fan of Supernatural, I'm not really a fan of Sherlock, because they've got these rabid fan bases that will like defend them to the hilt at the slightest hint of criticism. It's impossible to say that. So that puts you off. It really puts me off when I say stuff like I don't like Supernatural, I don't like Sherlock, because I'm just not that big a fan of the way the show's handled. And then the fans like get at you and say, how can you not like it? It's the best show ever. Where's the moment where I can't shut the fuck up about this on Facebook? Yeah. Where is that moment? That's the thing that I watch a lot of these shows thinking like, so when's the point when I become that guy? When's the point when I'm watching this show when I become the dickhead on Facebook or the dickhead on Twitter or like yell at people they don't know for not liking the show? Where's the bit that's going to turn me into that kind of fan? And because obviously I'm expecting that, it doesn't happen.